Apparently, I just cracked my back by lifting up my wig.
It's amazing. I know we met, but I did not see her. He, her, it, dog. What kind of genitals does your dog have?
Female. Girl.
I don't want to assume your dog's gender. It's 2018, let's be respectful. It's a girl. She identifies as a corgi girl. Got it.
Yeah.
I'd like to be respectful of that.
I've red shirted this for lots of requests.
She's very cute.
Oh, okay.
What's her name?
Maggie.
Maggie. I like dogs with people names. Or like very people names, you know?
Margaret.
Like I had a friend whose pug's name was Lloyd. And I was like, perfect. Not fluffy, not sparky, just that's Lloyd. And you will respect him. This is Gregory. And that's Bethany. Yeah, weird pet names, man.
Very specific cat name.
Is everyone having a good time? What's the cheesiest thing that I could do for my vlog? It would be ask you guys to cheer. Yay, go! Well, that's just a bonus. I'll take it. Is everybody having a good weekend for real, though? This is my first time to this con. It's my first time to Seattle as an adult male human.
Do you like it?
What a cool place. I tried to go to the farmer's market and some strange man threw fish at me.
Oh yeah, they do that.
It's only a rite of passage.
It is a rite of passage. I've never had so much fruit jammed in my face at one time. It was like, here's a sample, and I didn't say no. It was very good.
Don't deny from samples.
My name's Robbie. It's nice to meet all of you. I am here to provide you with all the A to your Q. You got the Q, I've got the A. I will keep this PG-13. PG-13. If you want dirty wordies, you'll need to come to the lava panel tonight at 9:30. 9 at 9. It's weird. It's weird. There's a lot of adult things that are going to happen. But mostly it's just a good time. We do goofy skits and we play games with you guys, and it's me and Max and Ray, my two idiot friends, and we hang out and do this show. Do you guys know how that came about? It came about because of wanting to entertain you guys. So we were doing these conventions, we started doing it together. Ray and I, who plays Nox in Final Fantasy 15, and I play Prompto, in that same year, Ray and I did 26 different projects together.
Wow.
And Max and I did about 16 together, and then Ray and Max have about equal amount of crossover. And I said, guys, we're all kind of in the same place in our career in JRPGs and anime. Why don't we team up and do a show with music and 90 minutes and entertain these awesome people who spend their hard-earned time and money to come to these conventions? Because we just went in here and it was like, man, it's always the same stuff. So let's give the people something different. And it's awesome now because there's a lot of bands that bring them. You know Johnny Young Boschus, of course. He brings his band out, and I was inspired by that. I was like, yeah, you get the man himself, he'll sign your stuff, and he'll also play some sweet tunes with his band. What a cool thing to do. So that's what we're doing tonight. But I also love to do these with you guys, because there's a lot of familiar faces out here. Some of you I met in at Radiant Northwest. That was a convention of me and the 3 people who were there. I had such a good time there. I was the only voiceover guest. There were only maybe 200 people all weekend. It's the smallest kind I've ever been to. And everyone was insanely sweet. And there was a staff member, there were 4 staff members. And the day I left Sunday, we were supposed to have like a hangout brunch. And they were like in their hotel room, like making pancakes. Like furiously. I was like, oh, this is so cute. You guys are awesome. So I hope that con gets bigger and they do more Tales related stuff. They were super sweet. Oh yeah, because I play Saray in Tales of Hysteria. I'm just pretending like you guys know who I am. I hope you didn't wander in here off the streets and you're like, who are those guys? That's you, good. Well, welcome to the party. I'm an idiot. but it was really fun. But I thought that maybe that would be the one con I was going to die at, because the first night I got there, I didn't know anybody, and all the hotel rooms are on the first floor, and the courtyard was out front, and they're like, here's your room. And I walked in, it's like, oh, first floor, okay, cool. Then I set my stuff down, kind of threw open my shades, and there's the courtyard, and there were like 20 cosplayers, and they all just went, and I was like, oh, no! I was like, this is where I die, in the woods of Washington. I just knew it. I knew someone was going to creep in my room and kill me. But they didn't. They were so nice, and we hung out all weekend, and a lot of them were here, and I see that this is a little horse of a different color. You guys have got 20-something plus people. You guys have taken over downtown, which is freaking dope.
Yeah!
Any bar, any restaurant, and you can see Pikachu having a cocktail with like a blow-up dinosaur. There's like kids from Sword Art, but also Rick and Morty are hanging out in the corner. It's a big part of the reason why I love cons and I love doing them is meeting you guys. And that's not pandering, it's just the truth. They lock us in a box all day long. So we get a chance to come out on the weekends. And I'll tell you one last story before I open up to Q&A. So 2012 sucked for me in my career. And here's why. Not because I was doing poorly, but because I had booked 6 pilots. And for those of you who don't know pilots or shows, they do one show and then they decide to pick them up and if they go to series or not. So you don't really hang your hat on it because you don't know if anybody's going to buy it. So I did these 6 pilots. Of the 6, 3 of them were good. 2 of them were really good. And I had executives blowing smoke up my butt saying like, oh, this is going to be the next Ben 10, blah, 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 blah. None of them went. So I was very depressed. And I had been doing cartoons for a couple of years and I was like, it's my time. I need my show. I need a show where I'm gonna lead it, or I'm gonna start giving up on this. Whatever. So my buddy was like, yeah, it's tough, and why don't you come with me to Anime Expo? I got an extra ticket. I was like, okay. And what's Anime Expo? I was like, it's like a car show, a convention. It's like Comic-Con, but for just anime. And I was like, oh, dope. That sounds like fun. And I went, and it was just magical. I mean, everybody was having such a good time. It was such a nice environment. It was everybody was really positive. Everybody was body positive. I won't answer any questions. Go on, yes.
What was it like doing that scene?
That scene.
Screamy one.
Oh.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. For the spoiler alert, I won't spoil anything. There's a turn, things happen, and it gets loud. Persona 5 for me, it was what?
It was really good.
Oh, thank you. It was one of my favorite roles. I was still working on Final Fantasy at the time, and I can thank Max for Persona. Max plays Ryuji in Persona. It's fantastic. And I got a hookup via him and someone else to go at that studio. Another thing like, put me in there. Put me in, coach. And then they're like, yeah, we're doing auditions for this thing called Persona. No clue. Never played one in my entire life. I knew they existed, but I didn't know what they were. So I booked it, and then Max was like, yo, this thing's huge. And I was like, ah. And then 1 million Akechi posters later, I understand. But what I really wanted to do with that, I can thank the producer and the director for letting me do it, because they wrote a good script, a really good adaptation. I was happy with the adaptation. My director let me go for it. And for that scene in particular, for the next couple of days, I sounded like I do now. But it was such a great experience because we're not so tied to the flaps because of the nature of the scrolling text and whatever. So it gave me a chance to do some kind of more nuanced stuff. And with anime, you don't always get to do that. Well, let's see. I tell you, like, hey, make something funny. Tell me a joke. Okay, good. Here's a good joke. Thank you for your joke. Now can you tell me a joke and pace it like this? Bum 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 beam, bum 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 beam bum bum. Okay, now faster. And a little bit shorter. It doesn't quite match. Let's do it again. And we gotta change a word. Hold on a sec. Okay, now tell your joke again and change a word. Okay, good. Is your joke still funny? It's hard to know. And that's why dubbing anime is so hard. Thankfully with Persona we had a chance to not do so much of that. So when it let loose in the cutting loose yelling scenes, I was given freedom to kind of just really act it, which was nice. Yeah, it was a great experience. I really loved that game. Next question. Other side. Plumpto. It's my favorite character, Plumpto. Little kid Plump, you've seen the thing. He eats a salad and he's like, I've got abs, now I'm cool. I'm like, no, you were cool before, Plumpto. Yes. What is your question?
For Lava, you guys have played the extra episodes for the different voices of Final Fantasy.
When we were streaming?
Yeah. Have you played them by yourself afterwards? And if so, which one has been your favorite?
Mine. No, I've only played them with the guys. Yeah, I would like to play more, but my life's not conducive to playing as much video games as I want to. I really wish I could play more. I just can't. I just can't do it. But I did play through them all with the guys. Actually, no, wait, that's a lie. I played episode Gladio on my own because they had played it without me, with Chris. Yeah. What? I'm not sad about it. Yeah, I really enjoyed all of this. It got nominated for an award for like most evolving game. Like, talk about the game that never ends. Like, I'll get a phone call and they're like, hey, more fight. I'm like, no way. In 4 years I've been recording on that. But no, I love all those little episodes, and I think there's more to come. We'll see. Next, right here in the front.
When you booked Akechi, did you know how insane it was going to be? Or was it a surprise?
I didn't know until like a little into it. They didn't tell me right away. They gave me like a session or two. And they're like, hey, now's the time. Let's tell you this. And I said, oh, that's interesting. I'd like to play that from now on. and then I did.
Yeah.
Was that vague enough?
Yeah.
Now we're here.
No
The day he
spoilers.
started playing the Japanese reference for the end there, I was like, no, I have stuff to do. I can't do this. But no, it was really fun. Yeah. Next. Gentleman with a hoodie.
Please tell me you love pancakes as much as Goro.
I love delicious pancakes. I don't like pancakes.
Blasphemy!
Here's why. My mother makes terrible pancakes. I know. Filming. She's gonna be at home crying tomorrow on YouTube. My mother is a great cook, but she made awful pancakes my entire childhood. But I loved her, so I would eat them anyway and be like, "Hey, good, Mom." And eventually, in my early 20s, I told her. I was like, Mom, I love you to death. Pancakes so good. And she made it her mission to learn how to make good pancakes. And now Mom's pancakes are A-okay. They're fine. Don't back me into a corner here. I still don't like them. Because I have childhood memories of bad pancakes. I had crepes this morning, though. Over in by the Pike place. A little Frenchy crepey place.
Yummy.
Got salmon in it. That's good. Everybody's like, ew, salmon. You're like, oh, crepes, a little salmon. Yes, crepes for me. Waffles. Crepes, waffles.
French toast?
Ooh. Crepes, French toast, waffles. It's the natural hierarchy of it. Yes. Whoa, now we're getting comfortable. With the phone right there. Yes, me?
Naruto was a Pokemon trainer. What would be his main Pokemon? It can't be a Chocobo.
Can't be Chocobo.
Jolteon.
I don't want to know your reasoning for that. Yeah. I think his Pokemon of choice would be. He needs like a big burly protector.
Snorlax.
What was Brock's Pokemon? Onyx?
Onyx.
Geodude. I mean, it's a pretty broy. You could be like, No, I think Prompto wants something cute.
Arcanine.
What's the second round? The little chicken. The little chicken.
Torchic!
That's the one. Torchic. That's the one I'm picking. That's the one.
Got it.
You guys are an easy audience. Yes, let's do this side over here. From the King, this is Glad Guard play. Glad Guard. I know the universe of the things I make.
What was one of the most heartfelt and meaningful sections of Prompto's
Hotel scene is my favorite, one of my favorites. And then I really like the post-rescue scene. I really like the final campfire scene.
Yes.
I'm really grateful for all of those because I grew up with Final Fantasy games. I love it. One of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy X. It's like top 3 for me. Like they're one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I played it like all the way through with all the everything. Like I won the Blitzball championship for God's sakes. That's a slog. That's like a random slog. So. Hey baby, what you doing? Oh shit, okay. Oh, we can do that. We can do that. I'm in. Oh, I said a naughty word, I'm sorry.
PG-13.
You can say shit on basic cable. Those are some of my favorites. I really wanted to make sure he was grounded and human and believable, yet still funny and silly and light. And I feel like sometimes if you get a little too into that Japanese realm, and I'm not poo-pooing on it by any means, but the archetypes become a little bit too broad in anime and JRPGs, so I wanted to make sure that the director and writers all agreed that like our English version of Prompto was real and grounded and connected, and those scenes made that happen, I think. Yeah, which allows him to go and you believe it. You're okay with it. Yeah. Next, over here, right here in front.
K Project. Green King.
Oh, Green King. Okay, yeah. Nagare Hisure. You're a nerd. Go ahead.
What was your favorite card of playing here?
Ooh, I like characters that lose their mind at the end of the... It's my favorite.
Apparently.
When he goes ham and all of his powers kick in and he knows he's going to lose and he's just flying around the sky as a green lightning bolt stream. That's my favorite. It's my favorite. Because you don't get to do that normal stuff in real life. I'll never get to turn into pure energy and fly around the room and electrocute people. All the sadder. But I got to pretend I did once. Yeah, I love that show. I also loved all the early stuff too. And he was very, like, he's super Bishan boy. Like, he's like, I'm in a wheelchair and I don't know why. And you're like, get out of here, I don't know, you creep me out.
You're weird.
Yeah, I really like those parts of it. I like